What's up guys, welcome to a brand new KeyForge video, and in this video I thought we could look at some of the new Winds of Exchange things and kind of what to look for and what the different houses really do in this set. But before we get started, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Ambermedes. And this is because he just hit 1,000 subscribers, and in this video of him hitting 1,000 subscribers, he also opened a gift from me. So make sure to go check that out if you haven't already. But now to the rest of the video. So just so you guys know, I'll be going through two of what I believe are some of the most fun or most looking forward to cards, and then I'm also gonna give an example of at least one token creature from each house that I very much am looking forward to. So starting off, we have Brobnar with Brick Nasty and Pelf. I really like these cards because it really shows the fighting ability of Brobnar, and if your playstyle is Brobnar, then I definitely think these are some cards to watch out for. I mean, with Brick Nasties, after a Brobnar creature fights, gain 1 ember, and after fight, your opponent lose 1 ember with Pelf, this could actually be a decent combo whenever you have this out. Moving right along to the token creature, we have Skirmisher. And it's a simple token creature that just has Skirmish, and I thought this could be a really cool card to show off, especially since it still shows the true power of Brobnar and how it can just fight out to win. Moving on to what I believe is going to be my favorite house, and this is Ekwidon. And I actually think that Ekwidon is kind of replicating Saurian in this set with all the Ember control, because if you look at these two cards, Insurance Policy, you lose 1 ember, but then when it's destroyed, you gain 4 ember if it's not your turn, and then Cursed Relic enhances 6 ember, and I'm sure there's going to be ways to get rid of this card from your hand. The easiest of which is probably going to be making it into a token creature. Speaking of token creatures, I couldn't decide on this one, so I picked two, Trader and Prospector. And I like both of these cards because Trader has to do with stealing 1, but Prospector has to do with drawing. So these are both going to be really fun token creatures that I believe we're going to enjoy a lot when we see them. So, if Ember Control fits your playstyle, then maybe Ekwidon is right for you. Moving on to Mars, we actually have a decent amount of board control with Mars, and this is because you can take control of creatures with cards such as Brain Dart, in the sense of you can just enrage it, and it captures 1 from its own side. And you also have cards like Kaboom that are being introduced, which have the ability to make a complete board wipe. Moving on to the token creature, I had to pick Blorb. Obviously, it is seen as a meme of a card, but it goes with this card called Blorb Hive, and eventually you could potentially get a key cheat. Now, I know you may not like this token creature, especially since it can't reap. However, I do believe that if you have a deck with less Ember control, then you might need this for the extra key. Moving on to a house that I feel like can be disliked at times is Sanctum. Now, I personally do like Sanctum, but some people don't like it as much, and it honestly depends on your playstyle. With this Sanctum, however, I picked these two cards because it has to do with Ember control. There are actually a lot of houses in this set, including Sanctum, Ekwidon, and Saurian, that actually do a lot of Ember control. So, I think it would be interesting to have a deck with all 3 of these houses. Moving on to my token creature of choice, we have Squire. And this card is a very simple token creature that just has Taunt. And this card may be overlooked at first, however, I do think it's really good for protecting those good creatures that you want to have out because of their actions. And that's the other thing that I think Sanctum does, which is protect. With all the armor and taunt this house has, I think it can be used as a really good defense mechanism. Moving on, we have Saurian. And there's cards like Inspiring Oration that show the classic Saurian with all the Ember control it does. However, there's also a new feature to Saurian, which is Election and cards like it, where it actually has more board control. Election is definitely a card that I'll be looking for because of the fact that it has some artifact control, and we don't see this very often in KeyForge. However, I think this is actually a really cool installation of some artifact control. In case you're wondering, artifact control is basically where you have the ability to get rid of artifacts, which is pretty rare in KeyForge, like I was saying. The last thing I really like about Election is the fact that you pretty much will be able to use it no matter what deck you have, because there's the option to get rid of artifacts or creatures. Moving on to a very simple but mighty card, we have the token creature Senator, and this card reads, action, keys cost +1 Ember during your opponent's next turn. And I really like this card because if you have some way to collect a bunch of token creatures and just continuously use this action, then you can pretty much always keep your opponent from forging. This may not always be the best option for this card. However, I really do think that this is a good card because there's nothing holding it back. Like, it could reap or fight as well as use this action. Moving on to another cool house, Star Alliance. And this house I really like for its upgrades. And if you like to play around some upgrades, I think Star Alliance should be the house that you're looking for. So as you guys can tell, I chose these two upgrades and they both are very helpful. So this first upgrade I have, Badge of Unity, reads, this creature belongs to House Star Alliance in addition to its other houses, making it so that pretty much whatever creature you put this upgrade on, any ability that it has is basically going to be Omni now. Meaning, basically whatever house you call, you're gonna be able to use that card. The second upgrade I have here reads, this creature gains Destroyed, make a token creature, attach this upgrade to that creature, making it so that I think it's an infinite loop of making token creatures. Now, I could be wrong and there could be an easy way to get rid of this, but from what I know of, there's not a super easy way to do this. So you guys are gonna have to let me know. Moving on to the token creatures of this house, I decided to pick two, Amberling and Bot. And Amberling has a whole different combo that I can't discuss right now, but I might make a short on it, so be sure to look for that. But this other one, I just couldn't resist because he just looks so adorable. I mean, look at Bot. No, but honestly, these cards are really cool because Amberling is basically an Amber that's in your pool, except it's not actually in your pool, it's just in your battle line, which is definitely a weird mechanic, but I think we could be getting used to it because it could be kind of cool thing to add to future sets. And personally, I would like to see it in future sets because I'm sure this can cause some pretty weird and cool combos. And honestly, Bot is just a cool action where you can use a friendly non-Star Alliance creature, especially if you have many of them out. Moving on to our last house, Unfathomable. So with this house, it was kind of hard to decide what specifically this house does because with the tide being gone, a lot of its mechanics are gone. However, I found, especially with these two cards, that Unfathomable likes to do a lot of disruption. So if you guys know me, I'm into that kind of play style of disrupting the game to try and win it. However, there is definitely some downfall to this, but these two cards I thought looked really cool. The first of which being a 1 power 5 armor creature, kind of like Sir Bever from previous sets if you know that card, that reads, play, make 3 token creatures. Token creatures do not ready during their controller's ready card step. And this card is definitely interesting, but if your opponent has a lot of cards that have to wrap around their token creature, this can definitely cause some disruption to their gameplay, making it so that you can have a slight advantage. And the second card I have here is an action card, Plunder, which reads, play, reveal a random unrevealed card from your opponent's hand. Then you may either repeat this effect or your opponent discards the last revealed card. So in a way, you basically get to choose a card from their hand and discard it. So that's definitely disrupting their gameplay. So for token creatures, it was actually hard for me to decide, but I decided to go with Fish, which reads, destroyed, deal 2 damage to the most powerful enemy creature, which definitely disrupts some people's playstyle, and Priest, action, exhaust an enemy creature, and this can definitely be annoying to certain people's playstyle because of the fact that some people definitely have cards that they need to use every turn. So I think these 2 token creatures can definitely be some cool ones that you're going to want to look out for. So that's going to finish it up with all the interesting cards that I'm looking forward to in KeyForge Winds of Exchange that I definitely think are some cards to look out for in this new set. And I want to know your guys' opinions if you have some token creatures or upgrades or really any card that you're really looking forward to in Winds of Exchange, because I know there's a lot of super fun cards to look out for. And with this coming right around the corner, I thought this could be the perfect video to hype some of you guys up, because I know I'm definitely super excited for this new set to come out, and I will definitely be recording an opening of this set as soon as I get my decks. So once again, this is going to be it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.